Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluta and the ArchieLuxury channel. Today, guys, I want to just go through a couple ideas there. And I was talking to my good friend, the super collector Dave, yesterday, and he was telling me about a video that was actually on one of my competitors' channel. It was JP's channel. And he said, he's just talking about how fucked, besides Rolex and besides Patek Sports, the whole market is very, very tough. And Dave said to me, if you were Panerai is a brand which is owned by Richemont, how would you fix it? How could you make Panerai successful again? And I think you can actually do a few things. You may not get it to where it was before, but you could fix a lot of things. Okay, so what would I do? My advice to Pam. My advice to Panerai, to Richemont, to fix Pam. What would I do? Okay. So first thing I would do is you got to look at the mentality of these conglomerates. Now, Richemont sees the grey market and the online sort of business as the enemy. Okay. When they say online, they mean their own boutique sort of bullshit internet stores. They don't mean grey market. They don't mean fucking. They don't mean grey market dealers selling their product, and like Joma Shop or any of these people. They don't mean that. They want full whack, which they're just greedy cunts. But what would I do if I was Richemont? Okay, if I was Richemont, or if Richemont came to me and said, Archie, what do we do to fix Pam? It's a disaster. How do we fix it? Okay, I'll tell you, I'll give you a couple points I would do. Number one. I would actually, anyone who wanted authentication on a Pam, I would offer that service. Possibly charge $100 US. Anyone can come in, any Pam, and we'll say yes or no. And if we're not sure, we'll send it off for verification. You've got to do that because at the moment the problem with Pam is the fakes, the super fakes are so good. People in the secondary market, collectors, you've got to have a good resale market to be able to have a good first market. So I would be offering authentication. I would also, in offering authentication, I'd get a website going where customer could type in the serial number, the movement number, and it would tell you exactly what model it should be, the dial color, just the options, and possibly where and when it was sold. When I say where it was sold, it doesn't have to be the dealer, it could be what country it was originally sold into. The next thing I would do to fix Pam up itself there is I would be offering new certificates. That's correct. It's like Patek. Patek has the certificate of you get a certificate, an extract from the archive. When you buy a new Patek, you get the certificate of origin. So if I was Pam, I would be saying, well, why don't we cash in? Now, I wouldn't do it for the same price Patek does. Patek does it very cheaply, about 110 Swiss francs. I'd be doing it for $300, okay? Gouge these fuckers, okay? It's a good cash flow for doing nothing. And if there's anything wrong with it, or anything's wrong, I'd be saying, hey, this watch is wrong, putting a big X on the paperwork to say, hey, this watch is fucked us. I would be, that's what I would be doing, man. I'd be helping the customer know whether this watch is correct or not correct. The next thing I would do is if I was Pam itself there, I'd be offering refurbishment services. If you've got a Pam that, I'd really be pushing that. Instead of doing it at exorbitant prices, I'd be opening up to get things refurbed. What else would I do? What else would I do if I was Pam? I mean, if you really wanted to, and no other watch dealer does this, I'd start selling boxes. You could buy a replacement box. Now, I know they're scared of doing that because the fucking fakers will buy them and yada. I get it. Okay, so let's move away from that idea. Probably don't do that idea. What else would I do if I was Richemont? Well, I got to tell you, I would be seriously encouraging what I would do is, you don't want to kill the grey market. If you want the first the retail market to be strong, you've got to help the secondary market. And a lot of these big manufacturers like Rolex hates the secondary market, but just as a quirk, the secondary market is what's pushing up the prices of the retail market. Patek and that, they aren't huge fans. Patek themselves, they really cornered the market by buying their vintage pieces at auction. They not only did they take vintage watches out of circulation, but they bought them, and they've ridden the wave up. And every dollar Patek has spent buying a old vintage watch that they've had there, guess what? That has come back in sales and revenue and etc, etc, etc. So I got to be honest with you, Richemont itself, they could do a lot to fix PAM. They could do a lot. The problem is they see the grey market as the enemy. They see the online as the enemy. I mean, PAM itself there, when someone said, look, I don't know if this is, can you authenticate it? PAM doesn't really give you a good feeling. They said, always buy from an authorized Panerai boutique to ensure you're getting... That is fucking garbage. That answer is garbage. That is so unfriendly. You don't want to do that. You want to encourage the customer to come to you. Is it real? Yes or no? Whack some money out of them. Charge them. I didn't say do it for fucking free, because if people know they can sell it easily, guess what? They buy new. They will buy new. But the way things have gone now, prices are terrible. It's gone really, really bad. Panerai themselves, their sales are through the floor. I mean, this is the honest fact. They're out of flavor in a lot of markets. Are they a bad watch? No, of course they're not a bad watch. They were so popular. But now they're so out of fashion. I mean, this is what happens. See, what's happened with PAM is PAM has got competition from people like all the celebrities were wearing PAM oversized watch. Then AP is a huge competition in their Royal Oak Offshore series. You've got the Richard Millets have come out bigger and better. You've got, you know, Hublot. You've got so many of these brands which the celebrities have jumped on. Rolex has upped their game. They've increased, even though they may not have increased the millimeter diameter, they've increased the girth of the piece. A lot of these pieces now wear a lot differently than the previous generation of 5-digit Rolex reference codes. So I got to be honest with you, in all honesty, can Richemont fix PAM? Yes, they can. Of course, everything is fixable. It's how much money do you want to put into it, and do you want to bite the pill that provides the answer? And the answer is they don't like the grey market. They got to work with the grey market to help. I mean, this is the honest truth. There are a lot of egos, very, very egos, and they would never listen to me. PAM would never, Richemont would never call me in. They're a bunch of fucking cunts. And if you have a look at what happened to Audemars Piguet with their 1159, that is, the emperor has no clothes. No one in position of authority in AP had the guts to say, this is a fucking stinker. This is a fucking stinker. This will be a disaster. No, they were all backslapping. Yeah, it's all good, man. Great management. Yeah, it's all... fuck off. Go and have a circle jerk and look at the results, because the code 1159 has been one of the biggest disasters in the wristwatch arena there. And I can't see it improving. It's going to be it's a fucking bloodbath, absolute bloodbath. So there you go. That's how I would fix PAM. Tell me what you think, guys. Like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, and how would you fix PAM? Put some comments below and tell me what you fuckaroonies think of that. David SW. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice, David SW. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have for a long time been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest the greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David SW. David SW. David SW. DavidSW.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex? For all the hot models, there's only one person I would recommend, David SW. David SW, David SW. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to. David SW. David SW. David SW. Let's be honest, guys. There's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David SW. David SW. David SW. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David SW. David SW, the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David SW. He even does things like FP Journe. David SW. David SW. David SW. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David SW. David SW. David SW. I'm Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David SW. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.